The world's largest rainforest is being destroyed at an unprecedented rate. Between August 2019 and July this year, an area 7 times the size of London was razed in Brazil's Amazon. That's more than 11,000 square kilometers of rainforest. The data shows an increase of almost 10% from the previous year, and a 32% rise on figures from 2018, the year before Jair Bolsonaro took office. The latest findings mean Brazil has yet again failed to meet its target to reduce deforestation to about 3,900 square kilometers a year. The consequences for missing the target are not outlined in the 2009 climate change law that established the goal, but it could leave the government open to lawsuits. The president has repeatedly called official data about the destruction of the Amazon a lie. At the recent G20 summit, the far-right leader dismissed international criticism.
About 66% of our territory is preserved with vegetation. It's with pride that I reaffirm that we are always working to ensure a high level of protection. I reject unjustified attacks by countries which are less competitive and less sustainable.
Bolsonaro was elected on a promise of development. He slashed funding for environmental enforcement agencies and even called the Amazon, which is home to 3 million species of plants and animals and 1 million indigenous people, a periodic table of valuable minerals. The president has pushed for more commercial farming and mining in the rainforests, saying it would lift the region out of poverty. Environmentalists say that's emboldened illegal land clearing for cattle grazing and soya cultivation, big industries for Brazil.
We are at the very close to a tipping point, at the edge of this cliff in which 50–60% of the Amazon forest will disappear, will become a degraded savanna. If that happens, we are going to lose 300 billion tons of carbon dioxide.
The Amazon is often called the lungs of the planet. It absorbs 2 billion tons of carbon dioxide each year. That's about 5% of what the world emits into the atmosphere annually. Scientists say the Amazon is one of the best defenses against the climate crisis. And they're warning that if action isn't taken soon, the rise in global temperatures will only accelerate. Natasha Hussein, TRT World.
And Carlos Nobre joins us now from the Brazilian city of São José dos Campos. He's a senior researcher with the Institute for Advanced Studies at the University of São Paulo. Welcome to Money Talks. Now, first of all, tell us specifically which of Jair Bolsonaro's policies are encouraging the devastation of the rainforest.
Well, the president, when he came into office, January 2019, he came with a political speech that the forest would have no value, mining, cattle ranching, so traditional agriculture should replace the forest. And then his Minister of Environment started making the legal framework much weaker. Almost weekly, he tries to do something to make it weaker. And that discourse, although the legal framework has not changed totally, but the political discourse encouraged the environmental criminals in the Amazon, because 90% of deforestation in the Amazon is illegal, encourage these people to feel they will be not punished. So that's why the main driver of this peak of deforestation in the last 2 years. The illegal crime felt there would be no punishment. In fact, there is very little punishment. The law-abiding actions are not very effective. So that's the reason, although the legal framework has not changed dramatically, but the political discourse is people go ahead and cut down the forest.
Now, this whole sort of pitching the environment and economic progress as a zero-sum game, is it really the reality? Does Brazil have to pick or choose between either having jobs for its people or saving the environment?
Not at all, because, the 65% of the Amazonian population is very poor. So this model of development started in the 1970s, replacing the forest, seeing the forest as obstacle to quote unquote development. It really did not pay truth. And therefore, we have to find another way. And the forest standing has much higher economic value than cattle or crops. There are plenty of examples of many forest products, cocoa, acai berry, Brazil nuts. They have much higher value, and they make the populations raising those products in agroforestry systems much better. They are almost reaching middle class.
Now we've seen President Bolsonaro repeatedly stress that this is a domestic issue. And internationally, all the pressure that's come seems to be limited to rhetoric. Is there much other countries, other governments can do practically to stop these actions?
They are already doing, because many of investment funds, European countries and across the world, they are requiring a deforestation-free supply chain. Any product they acquire, they imported from Brazil, has to be deforestation-free. And that has already changed the environment in Brazil. Even some authorities in the federal government, the vice president of Brazil, he's head of the Amazon Council, created exactly to respond to the international pressure. So I'm optimistic, and particularly with the election of Joe Biden in the US, the international pressure will make Brazil to change its course in the Amazon.
Carlos Nobre there, thank you so much for your insights.